Another day, another twist in the great Trump trade saga. After his so-called Liberation Day tariffs were scuppered by a little-known Manhattan court earlier in the week, another court has now overruled the decision. So President Trump can legally keep his tariffs in place for the moment. A federal appeals court has ruled just a day after his trade policies were declared to be invalid. In a post on his Truth Social platform, the US president praised the U-turn while also launching an attack on the judges from the day before. He pondered where these original judges even came from and said that they'd done such damage to the US. As it turns out, the judges were actually appointed by a combination of Reagan, Obama, and Trump. But in advance of this legal reverse ferret, the Trump administration went into comms overdrive in opposition to the ruling from the Manhattan-based court. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said on Thursday that America cannot function if a US president has their diplomatic or trade powers curbed. On Wednesday, the court had ruled that tariff orders exceed any authority granted to the president. And that had initially related to the tariffs introduced in his Liberation Day suite of trade levies, which at the time, as we all remember, were a pretty eccentrically calculated menu of national tariffs. So that had initially related to the tariffs introduced as Trump's notorious Liberation Day suite of trade levies. As we all remember, they started as a pretty eclectically calculated menu of different national tariffs that were eventually flattened to 10%, and the UK ended up with that 10% level too. While Trump's approach to the UK has been more consistent than for other countries, he wreaked uncertainty on European markets last week when he announced that he was recommending 50% tariffs on all EU imports into the US. And meanwhile, in the background, the clock is continuing to tick down to the all-important 8th of July date. That is the moment at which the 90-day pause on higher rates of tariffs is set to expire. So tariffs are back on, for now at least. But who knows? Maybe they will have been reversed again by Monday. For everything you need to know about this story as it develops, head to cityam.com.